Hey everybody, welcome to Power Rangers Jungle Beast episode 23. We're here with most of the crew. We're going to start on the right, have everybody introduce themselves going off to the left. So that means we're starting with Orion.
I am Orion, played by Benthoven, no relation.
You might have that
You can
backwards.
see me. No, I'm in character.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah. You can find me visiting Earth from RAFCON and fighting with the other Power Rangers.
Okay.
With his weird
Fighting
head tendrils.
Fighting the forces of evil and destroying evil. Good.
All right, Luke.
Yeah, I'm Tiriana. I'm playing Lucas Bücher, who got roped into this whole Power Ranger thing by being in the wrong place at the wrong time, and now he's apparently going to space.
Yeah. All right, Ben.
Hey, I'm Zerlon. I'm playing Benjamin Goodwin, the Red Ranger who's been here for exactly the same amount of time as Luke, is just as confused and being drugged to space.
You're not being drugged. You're being dragged. There's a difference.
Dragged, yes, dragged.
Yeah.
I'm a trucker, not a linguist. I'm sorry, Dapper.
One
It's
after the
okay.
other.
Those are just very, very different words.
Hey, we don't know. I could be getting drugged. We don't know.
I guess that's possible, but you don't know that you are, at least. All right, Claire.
Hey team, I'm Maddie. I play Claire Masters, the Blue Ranger, who is here to help you out with her Morphin Grid fanny pack.
Yes. All right, and last but certainly not least, David.
It's Casey. It's your boy, David Dran, bringing it in with dino powers.
That don't actually involve any dinosaurs whatsoever.
We don't talk about that part because it sounds
Okay.
less interesting.
Got it. Yeah. There's a surprising number of dinosaur-themed things in Power Rangers that don't actually involve, dinosaurs.
Yeah, but
As
Kent
many
Hovind doesn't know
dinosaurs
that.
as dino nuggets.
It's true. Ken Hovind doesn't know that. Yeah. Like, even in the most recent dinosaur-themed thing, which is, like Jungle, or was it Dino Fury and Cosmic Fury? It's like, okay, so you have a saber-toothed tiger ranger? That's not a dinosaur. And you have a Mosasaurus ranger? Also not a dinosaur, but okay, sure.
Based on that logic, is dinosaur is the next dino.
I mean, fair enough. All right, but
Mhm.
so Gary is not here, but that actually works out pretty well because Gary is played by T.D. Lane, who couldn't be here, but also Gary as a character has been kidnapped. You guys have had help from Anubis Kruger to locate his approximate location in orbit over Earth after he was kidnapped by the forces of Lord Claw. Now, you do have a space-capable Zord in the form of Orion's Feathered Serpent Zord. But the question is, what's the plan once you get in range?
Star Wars it up and go and drop down direct into their ship. I don't know.
Well, we can't blow it up.
Well,
We have to save him.
let me set the scene. You are all in the monitoring station after having located this. And do remember, you have before been offered the use of a spaceship by SPD. So that might be an option, but it's hard to say.
Well, I think last time we asked, and they more or less said taking the Zord would be the better option.
Yeah, it's certainly the stronger option in terms of combat. But there's also the question of
We could use the Zord for a distraction and sneak in with a shuttle.
okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, we could do that.
Any other ideas?
If we had some sort of tractor beam, this would all be very easy.
Would it?
Maybe. Maybe
Maybe.
not. We still don't know where he actually is and how, if it's a spaceship, a space station, an asteroid.
You also don't know how heavily fortified the location is.
Yeah.
We can run some scans.
I guess we'll have to scout it out first.
I think gather intel is going to be our first step.
Okay.
That's probably wise. Sounds good. Sounds good.
I mean, that or just Zerg Rush. We just go in and hope for the best. I mean, it works sometimes, right?
Usually you need to have more than 5 people to do a Zerg rush.
Yeah, like Zergening.
Yeah, like you ever played StarCraft?
They have lots of units.
Yeah, 5 Zerglings are basically useless.
They'll
Now,
live for about 5 seconds.
yeah, now 50 Zerglings in the early game, that's something. 500 Zerglings, you can't usually get that in StarCraft 1 because the command cap's 100, but whatever. 200 Zerglings, that's something.
So what you're saying is we need to get more people to help us.
I mean, no. I'm just saying that you can't really use the Zerg option unless you can get like,
Yeah.
50 more Rangers. Which,
I mean,
spoiler alert, you can't.
I'll give you that 5 is too low for the original Zerg Rush because it was 6 Zerglings.
Good point.
I bet I can get 50 Rangers.
But also remember what happened to the Zerglings at the end of a Zerg rush.
Well, it
Yeah.
depended on whether they were successful or not.
What happened to almost all of them, no matter what?
Death.
They
Pretty.
won being dead.
Mm-hmm.
I can
But they
find
won.
47 players. That'd be almost.
But yeah, guess we'll need more intel. And then we have to find a way to get him out.
If we all had space bikes, that'd be pretty useful.
That would be, but you don't. You do, however, have a feathered serpent Zord, which you could, Orion, summon whenever you want.
Feathered serpent sword.
All right. So over the command center, the monitoring station, which is hidden deep in the Amazon jungle, a green serpent-like Zord with multicolored, well, quote-unquote feathered wings appears flying overhead with the option for all of you to teleport onto it.
I'd do that.
That sounds better than
Let's
walking.
go.
Yes, let's do that.
All right, so you all teleport onto the bridge area, I suppose, of the Serpent Zord.
The Serpent Bridge.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Which, actually, I'm just going to replace your guys' tokens and whatnot. Sorry about that.
Claire is triple checking the what was the problem we ran into last time in space? We were running out of air. So I am taking time to study up on the life support systems.
That seems reasonable. Yeah.
Hey, my icon doesn't say bonkers anymore.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. I
Yay.
made some advances
Awesome.
in the technology.
In the technology. I like
Yes.
Okay.
All right, there you go. There, now you all have tokens. I don't actually expect there to be a lot of combat on this map, but there you go.
It's
Oh,
nice
it's
to-
awesome. Thank you so much.
All right.
I love it. I'll run it around.
It's the same map as last time,
I don't
I
care.
still love it.
That wasn't
Okay.
the last time.
All right. Oh, and hey, Al Trucker. Hey, my unfinished channel. How's it going? They're off in the chat. All right.
Oh, what's up, team?
So, y'all are now there, and yeah, feel free to take off into orbit.
Okay, who knows how to fly this? Orion?
Orion does. So I go to the controls and
Yes, so
start her up. Set her to go to space.
Space driving.
Power
That's
Rangers
cool.
in space.
There we go.
I'm sure that hasn't happened yet, except in this game, obviously. Yeah. It's not
Or
like
if we get
the 6th
shot into another
and
galaxy, it's
7th.
lost.
Yeah, well, actually, we're watching Lost Galaxy after the Tuesday and Saturday shows on my channel. I mean, we're watching in Discord, right? And we're only now on like episode 34 or 35 getting to the Lost Galaxy part of Power Rangers Lost Galaxy.
Their swords are awesome.
Yeah. All right. So, now, Orion, you are our space-savvy guy. As well as, I think, Bent, you as a person are probably, of the players, the most savvy at things like orbital mechanics.
Maybe.
So what ideas do you have for this?
Well, first we have to start scanning. That's what I want to run the scanner.
Okay.
See what we see.
Well, currently, I mean, you're in what, like low Earth orbit at best?
Mhm.
Okay.
So you see a lot of like comms traffic from Earth, TV signals, radio signals, satellite transmissions, normal Earth stuff.
We still have to head to our destination.
Dusseldorf is online, so that's good. You know,
Yes.
they're
We unbroke the thing.
yeah, you unbroke the entire city of Dusseldorf and the surrounding environs.
Nice.
Yay!
Yeah, good job, everybody. At least for now, because remember, you did not actually destroy the monster that caused the problem in the first place.
Sure enough.
So you never know when that monster might be back.
True enough.
But
Details.
yeah. So all right. Based on the orbital information that you were given, you can probably intercept this orbit. If you decide to go at a just regular rendezvous in 4 or 5 days.
Okay.
However, if you would like to simply do like a brachistochrone burn and just burn right to it and right back, you can probably get there in a few hours, but you will definitely be noticed.
Hmm.
Because there's no way to hide that much energy, because the Zord is not small, and it has engines, and for the deceleration burn, you're going to be pointing those engines directly at your target. They will, unless they just don't have any sensor arrays, they will notice.
Yeah,
Sensor.
people tend to notice a new star in the sky that is getting closer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we can take the slow way.
Okay. So you set up a orbital rendezvous, if you will. That's French for like come together.
Driving a car really fast through the center of Paris at 5 a.m.
I don't think that's what that's French for, but maybe.
I'm referencing a specific French film.
Hmm. I don't know.
All right. So, what are you guys going to be doing for the next few days? And nothing is an acceptable answer. That's fine.
I would like to become an expert as well as I can on the systems,
Okay,
focusing on life support and
that's
weapons.
fair.
And, nope, focusing on life support and shields.
Yeah, you never know when the Horrid might show back up.
Uh-huh.
Which, in
Try
case
to make myself useful.
people are wondering, if you want more lore on the Horrid, check out the Power Rangers comic books, which is where they're from. There's a great little storyline involving Lord Draken and the Omega Rangers and the Horrid. So, yeah, I don't want to give too many spoilers, but it doesn't go super well for the Omega Rangers. Let's just say that. It's not a good time for them. In case you're wondering, the core of the Omega Rangers team is Trini, Zach, and Jason, who, in the comic books continuity, their leaving for the peace conference was just a cover story for them going to become Omega Rangers. There is no peace conference. Because in the grim darkness of the far future of 20 whatever it is, there is only space war with Rangers and weird cosmic entities.
Like you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Peace through superior Power Rangers.
Yeah, actually the comic books get like a little touch of like cosmic horror with the Omega Ranger stuff, which is definitely a different change of like tone from normal Power Ranger. I highly recommend it. But I'm not here to do a commercial for the Boom Studios comics.
We should talk about the Ranger of Death one day.
Jeez. Talk about a horror storyline right there. He shows up and the first thing that happens is like, oh, hey, major character's dead now. And a zombie. That's great. So, yeah. Power Rangers comic books taking some horror notes. Anyway, okay. So that's what Claire's doing. She's studying the systems. David, what are you up to the next few days?
Do we have on board any information on past Ranger teams?
Sure. You know what? Yeah. If you want to spend time researching past Ranger teams, what we can do is let's see. you can make a proposal for like which skill you think is most appropriate for you asking questions, and I will take that under consideration. And unless I have really strong feelings about the skill you've chosen, you can take checks and learn the answer to questions.
Okay. I would imagine, I would hope, I'm going to ask, do I have a general broad information on the Machine Empire through the lens of the Zeo Rangers?
So that would probably end up being a culture check. So
Yeah.
I'm going to get a handle on what everyone else is doing, and then those rangers whose activities require checks, we're going to cycle through.
Okay.
So, Ben, what are you up to?
Ben will make himself useful as needed and otherwise practice his martial arts.
Okay. Luke, what are you up to?
Well, I'm not super great at science and technology, but I have a basic understanding, so I'll try to help whoever needs help and try to make myself familiar with the ship so that I don't break anything. And yeah, training martial arts sounds like a great idea.
All right. And Orion, I will let you know that as the pilot, you will have to make occasional like checks to see if you need correction burns or anything. But
Okay.
I mean, that's going to take up a few minutes of like each day, so you still have lots of downtime that you can fill with something if you'd like.
I'm going to do a couple of things. I will study the technical manuals
Mm-hmm.
of the Zord, and then I will also practice my martial arts.
Sounds good. All right. So what I would like to do is I would like to have Orion and Claire both give me technology rolls.
Excellent. My character sheet unpopped out, so this is going to take a second.
Oof.
Oof.
Well, Orion, you didn't get nothing bad happened. I'll say that.
Technical manuals are hard to read.
Yeah, apparently.
Can I help with that, or
It might be upside down.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to allow anyone to help with this because this is to represent them gaining expertise from having to learn about the ship.
makes sense? Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
So
Gotcha. Sorry, I forgot that I was supposed to launch Roll20 in Firefox. So I'm relaunching the game, so things will work.
That's okay. All right. In that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to David, and I'm going to say, okay. So what I'm going to say is that you guys have 4 full days in transit, and so you can ask up to 4 questions that you can get information from the computer banks on regarding the history of past Ranger teams and things like that. So, what is your first question?
Oh, me?
Mm-hmm.
What method did the Zeo Rangers use to defeat the Machine Empire?
Okay.
And on a preface that is that this was a threat that came from the stars, so this is kind of a semi situation too.
Okay. Let's see. Take a culture roll, and if anyone is proficient with technology, they can lend assistance to give you a +1 upshift.
I'm proficient with technology, and due to my teacher background, I grant an additional upshift.
Nice.
All right, then yeah, you can get 2 upshifts. Sorry.
Nice. No specialization. Skill shift, upshift, upshift. Okay. All right. And that.
That is.
That looks good.
Yeah, that is a very, very good roll. Yeah. Claire, by the way, any luck with the Firefox?
Yep, got it. And I got a 16. I did roll edge because of it's a smart roll, and I've got that Eureka thing.
Right. Yes.
Anyway.
Okay. Okay. So what I'm going to say is that from now on, you can take a single upshift per day on a technology roll in regards to fixing or any other way operating the the feathered serpent Zord.
Amazing. Thank you.
Yep. But again, it's an upshift and it's once per day. You can't spam it.
Hmm.
Okay, so one of the things that you learn is that the palace that the Machine Empire set up on the moon was actually apparently some kind of bombing. It's not clear who set up the explosives because it wasn't the Rangers. And while the next person to invade Earth, Divatox, does seem to have had a big thing for bombs, she wasn't apparently around, so it doesn't seem like it was her either.
Hmm. Okay.
However, their final defeat was actually at the hands of the Space Rangers, not the Zero Rangers.
Now I know.
All right. You have 3 more questions that you can ask if you would like.
What method did the Space Rangers use to finally defeat the Machine Empire?
All right, get that culture check, and if Lucas wants to help, you can take the upshifts again.
That would be most
Yes,
kind
course.
if he wants to. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. That's
Sweet.
what I'm spending most my time.
I guess I'm going to collect this information into a separate file and then print it if we have the capacity on the ship.
I don't know. Orion, you got a printer?
I should.
Then sure, you got a printer. All right.
Yeah, over there.
Unfortunately, that is not going to be sufficient. You were unable to find the answer today.
All right.
But you can still try again. You still got 2 more goes.
Well, no, if I can't find it, I wouldn't really know what else to look for in that regard. It's a very specific question.
Fair enough.
I'd move on to something else. Let's see. Something about ships. Something about the thinking of BBEG type Ranger Nemesis. Let's see here. What else can I look up? I know what to do. I just kind of prad along like that and start muttering to myself, like, what else could I look up? We have to find a way to defeat Lord Claw. We need to know something about space. I need information. What do you think? And I looked Tree. I looked at your character. What's your name again? I'm having trouble at the moment.
Lucas.
That's right. Lucas. Look to you, Lucas. I say, well, you got any ideas?
Well, I don't really know anything about all this Power Rangers and space and bad guys stuff, but
The whole point to research.
I mean, if you don't have any questions, that's okay. We can just skip ahead past the next couple days.
Well, I got more questions.
Oh, okay.
Just want to make sure.
Do we know anything about Lord Claw, where he comes from?
That's a valid point. We know nothing about our enemy. Let's see. Search the database. Anything? Is there any information about Lord Claw's origin?
Okay. Now I will warn you. This is going to be a pretty high difficulty. So.
It's one of my questions. I've had 2
Fair enough.
so far. This makes my 3rd. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
It's worth a shot.
Okay.
Okay, upshift. You still? Does Lucas still help me in this regard?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
just want to make sure. Okay, no.
Yeah.
There's no way. 4th. Let's see. Oh, where did Lord Claw get his Ranger team? Why did they sign up with him?
You're
Who
not.
the heck are they?
You're not going to be able to find that answer. I'll just tell you now.
Okay. Okay.
There's just no way that would be in the database. In fact, even if you'd rolled high enough to get information on Lord Claw, it would not have been specifically about how he got here and what he's doing. It would be more general observations about his forces and what you can deduce from that.
Well, we've seen his Rangers. Is there a way I can look up to see what teams they came from originally?
No, because they're an original team that I came up with.
Oh, okay. So it's not like there's a database of them doing good at one point and then they just disappear from records. Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not former. There's certain things that, like, I'll just let you know right now. Like, they're not former Rangers. You're not going to find information about them having been in, like, Power
It was a
Rangers
thought.
like Ninja Storm or something. Like they weren't.
Well, it was worth a thought. All right. Okay. Let's see. Hmm. Um. Okay. How about more research on the Zeo Rangers and their space endeavors specific to fighting their enemies? What methods they use to uh let's see. What do I want to ask specifically? What methods the Zeo Rangers used in their space battles?
Okay.
Space battle fighting combat
I will let you know
with
now
with
that
Zords.
the Zeo Rangers spent almost no time in space.
Okay, then
And I won't have you roll for that, but if you would like to modify that to be like the Space Rangers or
Yeah,
the
let's do
Lost
that.
Galaxy
Space
Rangers, then that would be a something I would have you roll for.
Okay, let's do space if you don't mind.
Okay.
Maybe it'll teach me something about how to fight in space with Zords or just in general or something.
Okay. So you learned some basic things. The Space Rangers they used a Megazord that had somewhat confusingly apparently been built by NASADA, which by the way is just Power Rangers NASA, but they came up with their own acronym because, well, the original Sentai footage used NASADA, so, what are you going to do? Anyway, it was called the Astro Megaship, but they also had a V5 Megazord, which was composed of a number of other independent vehicles that were housed in a hangar on the moon. They also had a a Delta Zord Megazord that was primarily piloted by Zane the Silver Ranger, and those were their primary forms of Zord combat in space. They also had personal vehicles that were kind of like space surfboards that they could, zoom around in when a more personal touch was needed. The Astro Megazord was also the transformed version of their Astro Megaship, which was their primary form of transportation around the galaxy.
Sounds useful.
It was very useful. In fact, you also learn that it was later used as a spaceship by the Lost Galaxy Rangers, and even fought alongside their Lost Galaxy Megazord when they teamed up with the Space Rangers at one point.
Well, now I know about that. And
Okay.
that concludes the questions.
So you launched on one day, you had 4 full days floating through space. On the 5th day, Orion, you are checking all your navigation stuff, and a little red light comes on a console with a quiet little beep, beep, beep.
Oh, what's this?
It is, in fact, alerting you that there is a sensor blip.
Sensor blip.
Yes, your scanners have detected a infrared signature in the approximate location that you were expecting for your rendezvous.
We're there.
So, you guys have been cruising passively, which means that you have not been super easy to detect. So, what is your plan now?
I'll look to others to determine this, since this space business is not exactly my forte.
Does the Zord have a cloak?
It does not have a cloak in the technical sense of like it doesn't emit any radiation and active scanning will just go around it. However, I would like you to take a science check, which you
Can we hide behind a moon?
No, because you are inside the orbit of the moon, which is the only moon on the Earth-Moon system that's large enough that you could hide behind it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But could we be exactly opposite this object?
On the opposite side of Earth?
No, never mind. It's fine.
Okay, I'm very confused.
I'm trying to come up with dumb sci-fi roles,
Oh,
and that
got it.
clearly messed up my role.
We need more quantum.
Shouldn't you have advantage or
we
edge
have
on
to
this roll?
change the modulation of the quantum
Yeah, help
oscillator.
should give you an edge and one upshift. Yeah.
Yeah, Claire, shouldn't you have an upshift because of your, or not an upshift, but edge because of your, I remember reading about or something?
Yes,
'Cause
you're
it's
totally right.
Definitely a different day and everything. Which, by the way,
it's an edge
True.
skill, so I'm just gonna re-roll the d20.
It's an edgy
It's
day.
not. Yeah.
yeah. By the way, guys, you all should be back up to full health and full personal power.
No comment.
All right.
No comment.
Well,
I walk into a
Could
bulkhead.
be worse, but not by much.
I'll let other people take science rolls to see if you guys know anything about things like stealth in space.
Yeah, I'm not. That's not my.
I mean,
I'm not
hey,
gonna-
you might
I
get
have
lucky.
No points into it.
Look,
There's
Orion
no
knows a
way.
little bit about it. He's Rathconian.
I don't know anything about it. It doesn't
Look,
seem.
now
wise.
Luke's got it. Okay, so Luke.
I'm pretty sure that all science fiction books I've read are very certain that there is no stealth in space other than act like a rock. Don't do anything.
So
Don't be hot.
Luke is actually pretty right about this. So the easiest way to detect artificial structures in space is infrared, because things like spaceships, space stations, rockets, all those things tend to use energy and tend to try to exist at temperatures that are relatively comfortable for the inhabitants of those things. Which means you have two situations, right? You have a situation where you are in the shadow of some celestial object, like a planet or a moon, or you're just in deep, deep interstellar space. In which case, such objects are almost always going to be higher than ambient and just all over the place, right? Because you don't want to just go into a deep freeze. Or if you're in a situation like you are right now, where there is in fact direct radiation coming in from the sun, you need a heat sink to shed heat to the environment faster than you otherwise would, which itself becomes a hotspot. So, the best way to be stealthy in space is to have the lowest amount of infrared radiation possible, and also to not accelerate, because holy crap, is acceleration a dead giveaway that something's fishy.
Yes.
So
And
if you would like,
acceleration in this case also means negative acceleration. Anything that changes its speed is not natural.
correct, yeah. Although I'm going to go ahead and assume that Orion, given how much his player plays Kerbal Space Program, knows a little bit about like acceleration and what that means in this context.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't go in any direction. No. Just don't move.
But
Okay.
yeah, if this thing has an active heat sink, we should point it away from our target.
Well, there are you don't have anything in the form of like something you can eject to take waste heat away. The Zord is designed so that there are basically the feathers can act as a thermal sink. So you could retract them, which does have the problem that it would start to build up heat internally in the Zord. So it would start to get pretty sweaty unless you guys turned off most of the power. Now, Claire does have experience with reactor startup and shutdown on this Zord,
I sure do.
which means I would grant her an upshift at attempts at that.
Ooh, and okay. And would that be a tech check?
Yeah, that would be a technology check, which, yes, you could use your additional upshift for your once per day on operating the Zord in space and whatnot.
Okay,
Nice.
okay. Hold on. How many idea points do I have now? That's not on my character sheet. That's not helpful.
It should be in the book, though.
Yes, I'm pulling the book up right now. Maybe I'm pulling the book up. I might need a new computer soon.
Oof. That's never fun.
No, I've had this one through all of grad school, so it's like pushing. Let's not talk about how long I've been in grad school.
Fair enough.
No. Yeah, if we want to gather information, just flying by with basically no emissions and just cranking the passive sensors up to maximum and just doing nothing, probably our best chance.
Okay, but if you do that, it will mean that you'll have to come back around on another pass, and that will require a correction burn to your orbit, because your next orbit around, you will in fact miss the target because you'll be there too soon. Which means that somewhere, Orion is going to have to raise your what do you call it?
The
Your
roof.
perihelion.
Yeah, we
Not your perihelion,
will
your
have to
periapsis.
raise our orbit to slow down. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, hold on.
Which
I'm doing
means
a-
you might have to do one of those really inefficient, like anti-normal burns or some crap like, not anti-normal. What is it? Burn like
Radial burn.
radial burn. Yeah, you have to do a radial burn. Sorry, go ahead, Claire. My bad.
Okay, no, I did it because I got a +2 upshift and I got edge because I had enough idea points to burn
Nice.
2 more to use Eureka.
All right, yeah, you can.
So I got a 21 to figure out
You
how to
can-
shut down systems in
you-
a way where we don't die.
You can shut down that reactor and start it back up and run on battery power for like a day with that roll. So if you do want to do the like surveillance pass, you absolutely can.
Let's do it.
Is that what y'all want to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you power the reactor down. You power down basically anything that isn't vitally important, which includes sensors, the air scrubbers, the fans, and not much else. Most of the computers are off. Every display screen except the ones displaying sensor information are off. There's no hot water.
Oh, cold tea.
Yeah. It is actually starting to get kind of chilly on the ship.
Oh boy.
But over the course of hours, you slowly creep closer and closer, and the thermal blip becomes bigger and bigger, and you can actually start to make out on the scanners some details. There's a relatively long object with 2 wing-like projections on which are mounted what look on your sensors like some pretty hefty ranged weapons.
Mhm.
It also looks like there are some structures going down like the dorsal side of the ship, which terminate in slightly brighter spots in the thermal signature, which might mean that they're like indicator lights or something. But you get... Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say, Orion, why don't you take a culture check, and you can get... do you have any skill in culture?
No.
I'm going to let you take an upshift of 1, because you are familiar with space stuff, because you, sir, are from space. Jeez.
Ooh.
Okay.
Damn.
All right. So while you have not seen this particular ship design before, you can tell that this, in fact, at one point was a cargo ship, but it has been heavily retrofitted to turn it into some kind of warship. In fact, those cannons that are mounted on there are no joke. And in a stand-up fight between that ship and this Zord, chances are it would go to the ship. However, being a cargo ship, you also happen to know that it's not exactly bristling with, like, you know, the best sensor arrays or the thickest armor plating or things like that. This, despite the fact that, based on everything you know, it seems like this is probably the base of base of operations for Lord Claw. Whatever kind of interstellar empire he's running, it's one that's using used cargo ships retrofitted with big old guns as like battle cruisers or something. So, which is a little odd. You're familiar with plenty of now ancient, but, space empires. And usually by the time you get to be an intergalactic warlord, you got yourself a real navy.
Mhm.
But on the other hand, you're not going to have a great time if you just fly up to the ship, knock on the door, and say, like, oh, hey, we're here to get our friend, and we'll shoot if you don't give him to us.
Well then.
Maybe we can teleport over and be sneaky.
You might be able to do that. As you do get closer, what I will say is, let's take a technology check. Whoever wants to can do this. Up to 2 people can help. And with 2 people
I
helping,
have a D2, so
well, with 2 people helping, whoever takes the roll, I will give you edge and an upshift. And if you're, say, I don't know, the Blue Ranger who has all sorts of crazy bonuses to things like smarts checks, feel free to take whichever ones you still have available.
I've used all my. I can't do Eureka again today.
I can help.
Is there any chance that this is somehow site-based?
I mean, you're looking at a computer screen, but it doesn't have a whole lot to do with, like, your visual acuity.
Okay.
Yeah, like, you're not looking for, like, a spectacled bear off in the distance or something.
Okay.
Sorry. There's no spectacled bears in space. In fact, actually, you can divide the entire solar system into the part that has bears and the part that doesn't have bears, and you're currently in the no bears part. Yeah. You're in the Antarctic of space.
The Antarctic of space.
The
Okay.
etymology
So
for
I have
Antarctica is literally just where there's no bears.
no bears.
No bears.
Yeah.
Yeah. No bears.
And the Arctic is
so-
literally bear place.
I have a D4 in technology. If anybody has something bigger than that, I'm happy to help because I'm
I-
out of a lot of my juice.
I only
I
have
ha-
a D2.
I have a D4.
In that case, it doesn't really matter who takes the lead on that. So decide amongst yourselves, and one of you. Actually, you know what? It was David who had a D4, right?
Yeah.
You
do
haven't
it.
rolled a technology roll in a little bit. Why don't you go for it? Take edge and an upshift.
Okay. Edge.
Jeez.
Nice.
Remember that time earlier when everyone was like, we haven't been rolling well in this game?
You haven't been rolling good at all, though.
Yeah. We suck at rolling.
It was true
Sometimes
at the
we
time.
do.
All right.
Most of the time we don't.
So, here's the deal. You will be able to find a place to teleport to on the ship that has a relatively low number of personnel as far as you can tell. So you're getting really good with these sensors and whatnot. But your teleporters do have a limited range, and you will have like a 6-hour window, and that's it. If you don't teleport back to the ship by then, you're gonna be stuck on an alien spaceship owned by Lord Claw.
Lord, what's his name?
So
That's bad.
yeah, that is what you can do, and there will be a ticking clock, because I know Orion gets this because Ben plays a lot of Kerbal Space Program, but I'm assuming everyone else here doesn't, right?
I do not play Kerbal Space Program.
Okay, so what has happened is that you guys have come from a lower period, like a lower period orbit, but you're getting up to the height of this ship around the same time that it's there. But what that means is that you're traveling faster than it. So you're coming from behind it, and you will pass it. And what I'm saying is that you have about a 6-hour window from the time that you were close enough to teleport in till the time that your ship is now too far away. And if you just try to wait for it to come back, it will be weeks or months before you are back in teleport range of the Feather Serpent Zord, unless you just summon it, which you can do. But again, if you do that, there's a very high chance it will simply lose a head-to-head fight against
It's not stealthy
the ship.
anymore.
So,
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, basically this.
Wait, I'm sorry, Dapper.
Oh,
Are
yeah.
you saying that our actions have consequences?
Yeah.
Only most of the time.
Yeah.
Unacceptable.
What I'm hearing is the fact that I have Kerbal Space Program and have never played it is bad.
Al Trucker says.
That as well, yeah.
Al Trucker says, "W2F, you can teleport." Yeah, it's Power Rangers. Have you not seen Power Rangers? They teleport all the time on Power Rangers.
Like every 5 minutes,
Yeah.
and maybe more.
But 6 hours should be enough.
I mean,
You hope?
you should hope so.
Famous last words.
Right.
Let's go.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. First, do you want to teleport over? Is that what you guys want your plan to be?
I like that plan.
I think it's a
Yes.
fine plan.
Yeah.
Is there a chance that we teleport over into a trap ambush or that they can detect our teleport?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a chance, but so far they haven't given any indication of noticing that you're there.
Okay.
Now, I also will say that, like I said, basically, Claire, you can keep the ship here on
Okay.
like livable but uncomfortable conditions for like 24 hours. So the 6 hours is well within that window. So when you teleport back, you won't be teleporting into like a deadly, deep, cold, no air radiation zone or something.
Okay.
It will be
That's-
chilly,
Also useful.
Yeah, it'll be uncomfortable.
but yeah, you'll be like it'll be survivable.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So, unless there are any objections, that's what we're going to go with.
Okay, that's
All right. I don't
Somewhat
hear
okay.
any objections. So, what happens is you all get gathered in a little formation, whatever formation. Do you want to be morphed before you go over there or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Orion?
Spectacled bear.
Orion?
Yes.
Okay.
It's morphin time. Feathered serpent.
Okay, cool. So you all morph and you teleport over. You teleport over into what seems like some kind of maintenance corridor. There's no one that you can see, but the whole ship has this kind of rundown feeling, and there are pipes and cables all over the place. The deck has it's not like it's a diamond pattern, but it seems like it's like whatever the alien version of that is, right? Like there's a repeating pattern of raised bits for grip, but it's not the same pattern as what you're familiar with diamond plated steel here on Earth. But it's put into little sections so that they can be pulled up to access whatever cables or pipes are running along the under the deck. Everything is kind of loud, and it is a little on the hot side. It's a very big contrast from where you just were, which was a quiet, powered down Zord that was getting to be uncomfortably cold. It's kind of like stepping out of the chilly airplane into like, the blazing sun of Phoenix. It's like, oh, that's different. Okay, I don't know if I like this. All right. So, any questions?
I have to reduce my personal power.
Okay.
Boop, boop, boop. Okay. Double check something. I have no questions.
All right.
By the way.
Well, what's the plan? What are you guys going to do? You're in an enemy ship. There is a 6-hour timer going.
Boy.
And we're looking for Gary, right?
Yep,
Yes.
that is the goal. Gary has been kidnapped, and he is presumably on this ship.
Okay.
Again.
What do you think the chances are that he still has his communicator on him?
Really,
Likely.
really low.
Okay. Can I look around for a map?
Yeah, sure. So in this particular corridor, you do not find a map. However, it does open up into rooms on either side of the corridor.
Okay. I would like to can we make sure
What?
there's nobody around?
Yeah. So tell you what. Why don't you take an alertness check?
Okay.
Why doesn't everyone take an alertness check? We'll see how we all
Who,
do.
me?
Yeah, everybody.
And I get an
Let's see.
edge because of keen eye.
I
Yay!
get interior senses grant the aware edge in all alertness tests, so I got an edge as well from battleizer.
I'm blind.
L trucker like checkered plate, right? Like diamond pattern, not diamond encrusted.
Mhm.
Gee, that's a pretty good roll.
The diamond cutter. Edge.
Hi, boy.
It's not terrible.
Not terrible, no.
I'll take it.
Is that? I think that is everybody. Look at that. All right, so you can tell that one of the directions does not have anyone there, but from the other direction, you can hear what sounds kind of like footsteps in the distance clanging around.
Ahead?
I mean, you don't know which way is ahead. It's one way or the other.
Okay.
You're in a corridor.
As we're trying to be sneaky, probably the way that doesn't have footsteps.
Yeah. Maybe duck
Probably
into
a
one of
good
these
idea,
rooms
yeah.
if they've seemed empty on, Orion's 26 perception or alertness.
Yeah, it does seem empty.
Okay.
Okay, so you duck into the room, and there is some kind of a floor plan that looks like it's just one deck, and it's this one. However, it is written in what seems to be an alien language, which I don't think anyone here knows any alien language besides Rathconian, but it's not Rathconian. That being said, you do see that the structure of the ship is kind of broadly like some of you guys are nerds, so your characters would know like what a Klingon bird of prey is, where there's like
Yeah.
a front section which has a lot of things like control areas and stuff like that. Then there's a long spine which doesn't seem to have a whole lot besides what looks to you like crew quarters based on what you're looking at. And then there's an aft section which has a lot of the like drive stuff, like engineering type stuff. And the middle section is relatively thin, and the aft and the forward sections kind of bulk out a bit.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Maddie, I'm not gonna whisper, but Claire is being sneaky. Okay, so since this is a converted cargo vessel, I can't imagine that a would have built into its floor plan like a brig. So if they're holding him, I bet he's locked in one of these crew quarters. What do you guys think?
Why not put him inside the cargo hold?
Well, I
Ah.
guess that depends if they have something in their cargo hold that they don't want him to touch.
Crew quarters, huh?
Orion, I would like you to take a culture check, and you can take an upshift on this one.
Okay.
But yeah, I'd assume that with airlocks that can be blocked, every
Oh.
room is kind of a prison cell.
Yeah, that's probably not going to work. Sorry. If anyone else would like to take a culture check without edge, they may.
Let's see, culture.
Oh, I
Oh,
have
I
a
have,
culture.
I have a little bit of culture.
Wait,
Got a little.
I'm
bit of
seeing you as
culture.
only having rolled 1d20. Orion, did you?
Oh, I'm not a man of culture.
Orion, you roll one more d20.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Oh, no, never mind, because Dave has got it. All right, David,
Looks pretty
based on what you remember from looking at the scans and what you know of things like cargo ships from like Earth and whatnot,
Yeah.
this cargo ship seems like it attaches detachable cargo modules to various anchor points on the outside, rather than having a large internal cargo bay.
Like a train.
Kind of, yeah. Or like, a cargo ship that just has like a flat surface on the deck, then it just stacks cargo containers on top of that.
Oh, so it's a barge.
The
Basically.
original design for the
Yeah.
Millennium Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
I informed them of this piece of information.
So that makes me think he's probably not in a cargo container.
Right. Probably in one of the
Yeah. You
rooms
also
like you're talking about.
did not notice on your scans anything that looked obviously like an attached cargo unit.
Okay.
So while this
But-
was originally a cargo hauling ship, it probably is not hauling much in the way of cargo right now.
Okay.
I'm willing
Yeah,
to
probably
bet-
just carrying all the guns.
But
that
also, it
all
is
over
about time for us to take a quick drink, refresh beverages, use the bathroom, do whatever you need to do. We will be back in just about 5 minutes. And yeah, so please enjoy the music. Look, this is Beethoven playing Power Rangers music. Is what we've got coming up here.
Yay.
I think
Oh,
there's
yeah.
also some. I think there's also some just original Power Rangers in there too, but I don't remember exactly what I put in the intermission. So there it is. And we will be back in just a few minutes, everybody. Hey, we are back, although I don't see Claire being back yet. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you're enjoying. If you are enjoying, and you're, for some reason, not aware of who's I am, this isn't my main channel, this is my off-topic channel. But, yeah, feel free to subscribe, like the video, do all the YouTube-y stuff, I don't know. Right now, this live stream game is pretty much the only thing that goes up on this channel. That's not always the case, sometimes there's other random crap. But yeah, this is a big part of it. So, yeah. How was everyone's break?
So good. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Good to hear.
Good. I grabbed a bowl of chili and now I have a kitten biting me.
Aww.
Oh.
Bite it back.
My takeout did not get here yet, and I have a dog
Boo.
waiting next to me.
Boo for the no takeout, yay for the dog.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are on Lord Claw's ship alone with time dwindling to both find and extract Gary without, hopefully, alerting the entirety of the ship to your presence, bringing down a number of enemies that you are very unlikely to be able to resist. Which means that discretion and stealth are going to be important aspects of this mission.
Yeah.
You are
I'm
currently
not about that.
you are currently in a room with a map of at least one deck of this ship. What is your plan?
Well,
Does
I
this
guess.
ship have Jeffrey's
Hmm.
tubes?
What's that?
Yeah, who's Jeffrey?
Come on,
What's-
you're a Star Trek nerd.
So kind of is the answer. There is not a
Okay.
network of tunnels that allows you to access virtually every room because, quite frankly,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
actually insane, and no rational ship would have that. However, there are small spaces that are available for, like, oh, hey, we have this these two random pumps in here, and this is the space that is for that. There are also the occasional void here and there that are basically empty as far as the floor plan is concerned, but probably are a place where people have, stowed a few things here and there.
Okay.
But no, it does not have a Star Trek styles Jeffrey's tube thing, because why would any ship have that?
To access stuff to do the maintenance.
That's why you have stuff accessible from the corridors,
Hmm.
where
But then
you
it
can
doesn't look
where you can stand.
Eh,
Listen, your future back problems have nothing to do with our aesthetics.
Well, this ship was made by some practical-minded, cargo-hauling, hard-working folks who don't have time for your silly aesthetics of hands and knees
Some-
crawling around for no reason.
Ergonomically minded,
Yeah,
concerned.
they were like,
citizens.
hey, we have to live and work here for, years. What if we made it so that it was actually functional for the long term?
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah, those guys
Yeah, that sounds
lost their
stupid.
jobs at the next pay cut.
Seriously.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Where do you think we should look for Gary?
And the rooms. I guess we have to go through the rooms. So no.
Well, where is a problem, but so is how.
Yeah.
You are currently in bright, multicolored ranger uniforms, and you step out into a populated space, and you will raise the alarm immediately.
Hmm.
Power Rangers uniforms are not built for infiltration and stealth.
No, not really.
Yeah, that's why they tend to be bold colors rather than camo patterns.
Yeah. We really need an olive green ranger.
Unfortunately, what you get is a lime green ranger.
Hmm.
Sorry, Orion.
Mm.
You're not drab enough.
Aw,
I know. Plus, you have a
That's
big
right.
shiny gold like plated vest, so you know.
yes, I do. I like my.
If we can still try to be quiet. And
Yep.
just not to go where anyone else is. And
I think-
hope for the best.
Man, if only there were some other like sci-fi thing where people like were trying to infiltrate a big spaceship full of their enemies to save a prisoner.
Yeah.
If only like they could
Maybe we
draw inspiration from that.
Maybe we should steal some stormtrooper uniforms.
Wait, what? Stormtrooper uniforms? I mean, technically they don't have those here, but you could pull a Star Wars.
You can go in blasting, like other shows I've seen.
Yeah, you could. I mean, look, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just going to say that your chances of fighting your way off this ship, other than just retreating and teleporting back to the Zord, are like your chances of winning in a stand-up fight on this ship are basically nil. Sure, you'll probably take with you more enemies than there are of you, but unless you all want to end up defeated, you're probably not going to win.
Yeah.
Because they've got what is essentially an indefinite number of troops, and you've got a finite amount of rolls per round, and only so much luck.
Yeah. Let's try to go unnoticed.
That's not going to happen.
Well, if we put somebody that's good at sneaking up front and somebody that's very alert in the back, we at least stand a chance of like finding some disguises or something.
Well,
Better.
who is good at infiltration?
No.
Not Ben.
I am.
I
You
have a
are?
D4 in info.
Anyone
But I
go?
also have a D8 in alertness, so
I
I,
have
might
a
do better in the back.
D4, and I would get an additional upshift in that.
Oh, because it's a speed skill,
Because
right?
it's a speed skill, yes.
Right. So you would actually have a D6. Well, it looks like Luke or Orion are your best bets for being sneaky.
Okay. Could we try to pick off a couple of individuals, drag them into this room, steal their uniforms, put them on Luke and Orion, then have Luke and Orion, just the two of them instead of all six of us, go do a sneaky.
You just described Star Wars to a T.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, that's
kinda.
where I got the idea.
I know.
Yeah.
Can we do that?
I mean, this is basically just the first act of Star Wars.
Yeah.
We
Mhm.
probably can do that, yeah.
Mm,
Okay. So what I will say is, are you all going as a group to try and find some people to knock out, or would you like to send like Luke or Orion as a scout to see what the deal is before you do that? What's the actual plan?
Orion, you have like a D8 in alertness?
Yes,
How good are you at bonking people on the head?
that is a different skill.
yeah, we
I
know.
have a D4 in might, so yeah,
Not terrible.
pretty good.
I'm bad at everything that we're trying to do right now.
Same. I understand the problem.
Ooh, hey, is there a computer terminal where we are?
There is not.
This is very Star Trek like. Dapper.
You're right. This is not a Utopian Federation ship that has really unergonomic design. This is a utilitarian, more gritty sci-fi ship that does have an ergonomic design, but not a
I
very.
mean, when you say it like that,
Yeah.
But no personal computer terminals?
I mean, there probably are personal computer terminals, but not in this random room at the one end of a maintenance corridor.
Bye. My takeout got here, by the way.
Your point of reference for this ship should be less Star Trek and more like modern ship on the ocean.
Alien?
yeah,
Yeah, alien is a closer approximation for this. Although
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. Sorry, you're
Okay.
outside my range.
Although, like, it's probably not going to be working on, like, like those green low-res display screens with really loud electronics. It's probably a little bit fancier than that, because, intergalactic alien space tech. But, yeah, it's as far as, like, how frequently there should be computer terminals and, like, signage and things like that, Alien is a pretty good reference. The Nostromo. You're on, like, slightly higher tech. Well, you're on significantly higher tech, but Nostromo type ship rather than like the Enterprise.
Shit. I mean, shoot. I mean,
Any ideas?
aside from going in
Well,
guns blazing, not
if
really.
they are crew quarters, then they probably have spare uniforms there, so we don't necessarily have
Hmm,
to take someone out. We could just find a locker and get a uniform there.
That is a possibility, although it would require some significant amounts of sneaking because you
True.
are, according to the map, in the drive section. And you would have to get far enough forward to start getting to the crew quarters.
So we're currently in find a disguise mode. I think we should probably stick together until we have disguises.
Oh yeah.
That way we don't, get separated
Okay.
and
Or death.
picked off.
Sounds fair. I vote we maybe go
Mhm.
post up in a group.
Mhm.
Okay. So, what is the plan? You are currently in a room at the one end of a maintenance corridor in the aft section of the ship. At the other end of the corridor is another room where you heard that there were probably people.
So
Well,
Yeah,
our new
we
plan means we're looking for people, so maybe we should
could
have someone
go
sneak
in
over and
there
see who's
and
there.
try to get
could-
them and maybe question them and take their stuff. Or
We could try
go the other way.
All right.
scuttling an area of their ship.
Now, if you don't get them all quickly enough, one of them may run and raise an alarm or something. So, you might still want to take the stealthy approach.
Yeah. Stealth. Ugh. Gross.
I know. Well, what's the plan?
Stealth.
As you're continuing to argue about what the plan is, the time is ticking away.
Yeah.
You now have less than 6 hours.
I guess we just go looking for some
Okay.
body or into something.
Do you plan on trying to be stealthy?
I am.
No. Yes.
Okay. So let's see. Why don't you guys arrange yourselves on this map in the marching order that you're planning to go on when you're in the corridors, which are usually about 10 feet across. So you can do two people in to a side.
To a
Left
side,
to
okay.
right, up, down.
We'll say that up is forward on this map.
Okay.
Actually, you might want to be in the middle somewhere. I don't know.
I'd like to be towards the middle because I'm bad at everything we're trying to do.
All right, then you can be behind me
Sweet.
because I'm a big shield-looking fucker.
You
Duder.
might not want to have your full-on like battleizer thing while you're trying to stomp through these corridors without alerting people.
I'm aware of that.
Do you have it on?
Yes.
Sneaking and tactical dreadnought armor.
All right.
In-
As the game master, I'm going to say, are you sure you want to do that?
No,
Okay.
I'm not. But I want to.
Are
But
you?
I won't.
Okay. I'm glad that you know what it means when a game master says, "Are you sure you want to do that?"
Yes, yes. All right.
Okay.
My players sure don't.
They'll probably learn eventually. Let me know in the chat if you know what it means when your game master very specifically asks you, "Are you sure you want to do that?"
I can see to the DM.
All right. All right. So what I'm going to say is, we're going to start with Orion and Luke. Why don't you two take infiltration checks?
I keep my ninja power on instead.
Ah,
I don't know why I shouted that.
That is not
Sorry.
great.
I'll,
I don't know why I shouted that.
I would like to spend a story point for that.
I understand why you would like to do that. However, you cannot.
Why?
Because there are no ones that were rolled.
Only reroll once, right? Nah?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
Wait.
Hmm.
I have a thing.
Okay.
Oh,
she's gonna roll a
no.
one.
Shoot. It's I can re-roll any one die.
Yes. Well,
I can. Yes.
the good news is that no one on the ship is really expecting infiltrators right now. So, you guys are able to pretty easily get to, like, peek into the room. And when you're there, you see 3 individuals, who are humanoid in shape, but they're clearly not humans. They have varying skin tones, and one of them looks like he's got too many eyes.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Another one doesn't seem to have much in the way of a nose. But it does look like you could probably put those uniforms on.
Mm.
So what is the plan?
Put the uniforms on.
You might be able to rush them and get to them in a single turn, but you're only going to get 1 surprise round.
Let me see what I got here.
And
Oh
if,
man, let's rush them.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Let's rush them.
All right,
Okay.
night, my unfinished channel. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening.
Bye-bye.
All right. So roll initiative.
Oh no, my weakness.
I clicked the wrong button.
I would like to follow one of the rangers who has a better initiative.
Oh, me
let's
too. I want to do that thing.
Take the.
What is my initiative?
Can I give Red Ranger?
All right. So first,
Okay.
Let's follow the Red Ranger.
yeah, Red Ranger is the one who has the
Follow me.
follow me. I don't believe David has that anymore because we switched him over to actually be using the Red Ranger. So
I'm actually useful now. Gold. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so we'll say this. Orion, would you like to follow the Red Ranger? Yes or no?
Yes.
Luke, would you like to follow the Red Ranger? Yes or no?
Yes.
Claire, would you like to follow the Red Ranger? Yes or no?
Yes.
David, would you like to follow the Red Ranger? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, Ben, select your token, use the initiative button, but then when it's done, we're going to add 3 to that number. Okay, wow.
Way to be, Benjamin.
Yeah, that's a 22. All right. David, you do the same, except you're not going to be adding
All that other
anything.
junk.
So make sure your token is selected before you use the initiative thing. But yeah.
I did it. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Whatever.
not ideal. All right.
Whatever.
Orion, roll a d4 for me.
Just another day. Just another day.
All right, you are going at initiative 19. Luke, roll a d4 for me. All right, that is getting you a 20. And Claire, roll a d4 for me. All right, that is giving you an 18.
Good job.
All right, now if I can figure out what the heck. Doesn't really matter, it's a surprise round, but whatever, I'll just roll a d20.
Surprise.
All right, they will be at 19. It won't matter much because you guys will be getting surprise round. So unless it, they'll be going after Orion though. So we start with Benjamin. Now the corridor is pretty tightly packed. If you want to try and burst your way past Luke and Orion, it will cost you, a little bit extra movement. You won't be able to get very far into the room. You won't be able to get in melee range with them. However, you could always shoot.
So
Oh
it's
no,
gonna
he doesn't shoot well. I will push through and get as close into melee as I can, and just be ready.
Okay. They are very shocked to see you there, but they are still in surprise mode. Luke, you can in fact easily get to melee range and get to grapple with them if you'd like to.
Yeah, I would like to get in between them and use my whirlwind strike if I can.
I will
So
let
I
you do
could
that on
hit-
up to 2 of them.
Then I will hit 2 of them. Yes.
Okay.
So which means I spend 1 personal power for that, and I just make 1 attack roll, and it's compared to both their armor classes. Okay.
Sounds good. These are not going to be very hard to hit, guys. Don't worry too much about this.
We
And,
will
on
see.
ranged and your orphan weapons, you get a +1 upshift.
Your power
Because
weapons,
I'm
yeah.
here.
So yeah, you're going to get a
Yeah.
upshift.
Pew 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 pew,
Okay.
etc. etc.
I was assuming that we are doing this unarmed or not.
Oh, are you just punching?
I thought we were trying to knock them out and not spread them across the room.
Hey, I don't know. If you're not using a power weapon, though, you don't get Claire's benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was using my power claws, I would get more benefits, but I was assuming we want to not kill them. So
I mean, I
yeah.
think
Well, okay, we don't have time to discuss it currently. So Luke's
Yeah,
idea was that we
I
weren't.
will-
So you are not using your power claws. You do not get the benefit from the +1 upshift for power weapons. Roll your attack.
Okay.
Wait, how is it an automatic success?
because I get +4 upshifts for my what's it called?
Jeez. Okay.
That's a lot.
Sure. I mean,
Strike bonus for my first melee attack a turn.
you
If I
managed
spend a
to.
personal power, and I get a 5th upshift for my speed bonus.
Jeez. Okay. Yeah. So you rush in there, and like a whirlwind, you manage to get 2 of them down
Nice.
right away.
Ooh-wee. Or one.
Orion, you're up.
Okay, is there a third one?
There is a third
Yes.
one.
Okay, I want to go and hit him in the back of his head with my fist as hard as I can.
Okay. That'll be a let's see. I believe that's just going to be a might check. Punching. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask to do.
Yeah. Brawl is might, and martial arts is finesse. You can use either.
Unfortunately, you actually managed to bounce off what little body armor they have, and while you're not injured, they also seem not to be injured. Claire, you're up.
okay.
Now-
So
Because Luke and Orion have cleared out, away from the door, you could get into melee if you wanted to.
would it be possible for me to get on the other side of them to like block an exit?
No, that's going to be too far unless you don't want to attack. In which case, yes, you can.
Okay. I do want to attack. So how many are
There's 1 left.
one left? Oh, okay. Well, I'm just gonna
The Jungle Blaster has stun as an alternative attack mode, as far as I know.
yeah, I'm gonna Jungle Blast stun.
Okay.
Is what I'm gonna do. And not specialization. Okay, I didn't move, so can I aim?
If you don't move, you're not going to be able to get to line of sight.
Oh, okay, so I will move, so I'll just take a shift. Do I have any other tricks up my sleeve? Hold on. I've got a few. Excuse me. Okay. I don't think I have any other tricks for this. Okay. So let me submit that. Hey.
Well, there you
That
go.
was good.
Yeah.
Actually, your alternate effect is cold, which means
Ooh.
you
Oh.
kind of killed somebody.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. I mean,
Well-
it is a part of an attempted occupying force, so, like, from a ethical standpoint, you're probably about as in the right as, like, any member of, like, the French resistance in World War
Yeah.
II. So I wouldn't worry
They-
too much, but yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I said it to the alternative
They
effect,
kidnapped
and that
Gary,
I've never
so
used.
yeah.
I said it to
We
the
are not
alternative-
trying to not kill them because they don't deserve it.
Okay, but you
more like we
interrupted
want their
Claire
stuff.
twice, though, so
Oh, sorry.
it's okay.
Sorry.
I've literally never used the alternative, so I think I'm turning my gun to stun, and instead it goes full Mr. Freeze. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god.
He just falls over, frozen, clearly no longer alive.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right, but now you have 3 uniforms.
Okay, can we drag them back into the hiding?
Absolutely. Yeah. Probably don't want to leave the 2 unconscious and 1 unalive bodies in the middle of the room.
Yeah. Can we interrogate one of them, or do we want to?
You might be able to wake 1 up. Or 2 up. Of course, there's also the question, do they speak a language that you speak?
That is a good question.
Just start punching them until they start talking your language.
I
Speak
mean,
to me.
if they don't know
You
English,
have a babblefish.
yeah, you do not. I also will not allow you to simply acquire one for the spending of 1 story point. But yeah, you drag them back into the room you were in originally. Now what?
I'm gonna get to work getting the uniforms off, and I'm also looking for like what type of communication device do they have on?
Okay.
Like, do they have a radio or something?
So they do seem to have some little wrist-mounted device that looks to your eyes like it's probably some kind of a communicator. You would have to study it a bit to figure out exactly how it works. But it does occasionally give little, like, bits of speech in a language that you don't really know.
Okay.
Because despite how many languages you know, Claire, they're all Earth languages.
They are all Earth languages.
Because when would you have learned an alien language? And even if you had, you know how many alien languages are out there?
Even more than there are on Earth.
Yeah, there's probably like billions of alien languages.
Sectrillions.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, there are thousands of languages on Earth. So
Yeah.
my Power Rangers RPG world is not as simple as every single species all has 1 language. Because if it doesn't work for humans, it's probably not going to work for everyone else.
But
Yeah.
does your RPG world work like Stargate rules?
Yeah, where just everyone speaks English.
Every single species speaks English, unless that's that episode's plot point.
No, we actually operate under Stargate the movie rules. Yeah,
okay.
where having an actual
Pie.
linguist might actually be a good idea sometimes. And maybe it can be David
so
Spader.
we need
I don't
a
know.
cunning linguist.
Yes. Who might or might not be played by David Spader.
Circa 1985.
Yeah, super baby David Spader. Like,
Yeah.
jeez. You watch that movie and you're like, wait, is that the same guy? Like, yeah, it is. He's just really young. He's so young.
Before he even did Wolf.
Anyway.
But they didn't have MacGyver.
No, they did not have MacGyver. Okay, so unless you're making active attempts to wake up the 2 unconscious individuals, they are not going to be waking up anytime soon.
Yeah, since we are very unlikely to get anything out of them that we can understand, it's probably best to let them just sleep it off.
Okay, now, would you like to try to prevent them from leaving after they wake up? Because they're probably not going to be unconscious for the next 6 hours.
No.
Did anyone remember to bring the power rope?
Ranger rope. We have
Or we
established.
could knock them unconscious forever.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that. I mean, that actually puts you in a more dubious category because that's a super big Geneva Convention violation right there.
Well, they're pirates, not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm just saying
We are definitely not soldiers, but
It's-
yeah.
Are we?
you kind of are.
Yeah.
Killing
dubious
your
too.
captive enemies in their sleep
It's not good style,
is
no.
generally frowned upon in Rangerland. Just
Yeah.
generally.
Yeah. Can we stuff them in a locker?
I mean, you could if there were a locker in this room.
Yeah, damn.
You could go
Can I
looking
spend
for
a
a
story
locker.
point to remember
To remember
Yeah.
what?
the ranger rope?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I would like to do that.
Mm-hmm. Claire did remember the ranger rope, just at the
It's
cost
in
of
my
a story.
fanny pack.
Obviously. All right, so you managed to somehow summon rope out of the morphin grid
Mhm.
in order to tie these two up.
Na-na-na-na.
Is it bad that my first thought was that it's like it has the look of fruit by the foot?
Oh my
But-
god.
No, I'm fine by it. If you want it to be fruit by the foot, like it's blue because you're the one who grabbed it, sure.
Uh-huh. That's what I would like, please.
It's like the weird blue raspberry thing, which, by the way, there are no blue raspberries in nature. That's not how
Says
raspberries
you.
work. No, it says, like, science.
No, that's not
Yeah.
true.
Yeah,
They're
it is.
definitely not sky blue.
Yeah,
Everybody knows that blue raspberry exists in nature. I go pick them off the field every week.
I don't believe you,
Did
Alright,
you
that's
have
what-
a certain mushroom first?
right?
Yeah. No.
Is that field close to Chernobyl?
We don't talk about that.
Okay.
Isn't Chernobyl currently still occupied by the Russians right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Has Ukraine? They haven't taken back Chernobyl, have they?
No, they're hoping
I
they
don't
get
think
radiated
so.
to death.
Didn't they have to? Didn't Russian soldiers start suffering from radiation poisoning because digging?
Yeah,
Like,
because they were
latrines
digging
near Chernobyl.
trenches in the. Yeah.
Okay,
What?
but let's be
Very
honest. When was the last time that the Russian military was terribly concerned with the safety of its troops?
Literally never.
This
Back
is-
when it was a monarchy.
Okay,
I
yeah,
think
fair. There was
was
that.
the right
was a long
Russians,
time
not
ago.
the red Russians. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Um,
the White Army did have a little bit of concern for the well-being of troops. But remember, this is the group that, in World War II was like, oh, we don't have enough metal to make armor for the tanks. What if we just strapped people to the outside of the tanks so that it made people uncomfortable to shoot the tanks because they would have to shoot through a person?
Yeah.
You know, like you do.
And also they were like, oh, hey, we don't have enough guns for everyone. Here, this is a piece of wood carved to look like a gun. When your buddy who has a real gun dies, you can get his.
Though that happened less often than is portrayed, but yeah.
It did happen, though.
It happened though.
Yeah. It happened.
So, like,
But-
the
yeah.
Russian military isn't exactly the best place to be. There's a reason why, like, every Russian who can is desperate, or at least every Russian man who can is desperate to flee the country. Anyway, that's enough geopolitics for now.
Tangent.
Okay, so who would like to wear the uniforms? I am not going to go into like the specifics of
I will.
size. Okay, so that was Luke's gonna wear a uniform.
I can wear one.
Okay, Luke, Orion, and there's a third one up for grabs. Who's wearing it?
Not very stealthy.
That isn't
Yeah,
an
but
answer.
The uniform might give you a bonus, so if you're bad at stealth, it
Oh,
might make you better.
also you cannot wear this while you're morphed. However, it does provide you with 2 points of armor. So, that's a
I think I'll
thing.
stay
Okay.
morphed instead. Thank you very
I
much.
can I use my blaster if I'm unmorphed?
No.
Damn. It's tough out here in these streets.
If I can't use a blaster, I'm useless except for healing.
Don't be able to do that either if you don't have your Power Ranger suit on.
Yeah, without being morphed, you generally can't access most grid powers unless it says something about the fact that you can.
Fair.
However, if you're wearing
though- As a free action, you may spend one personal power to heal any morphed power member of the Power Rangers team, but it does not specify I have to be.
Well, then maybe, yeah. But
Sorry, I was trying to go a little rules lawyer there, and then I laughed myself out of it in the middle of it.
So you don't have to use all 3 uniforms. You can go with like 2 in the uniforms and 3 unmorphed. But if you are all found, it will be pretty obvious what's going on. On the other hand, I mean, you could just try to find 3 more people and just grab those uniforms, and now you're in a set of 5.
Yeah.
You could also, now that Lucas and Orion are both stealthy and wearing the proper uniforms, just have them scout a bit.
Yeah, I think let's have them scout. Was there anything else on the persons that we killed and captured? I am trying to get a life signs detector, or
Okay.
I don't know if that exists in this world, right? But I'm trying to find a way to like hack my way, something that I could hack or something to get information about where they're keeping Gary.
I mean, they don't have like Wi-Fi enabled personal computers or anything. They do have the communicators. But I mean, there are computer terminals on the ship. Guys are going to be able to find one if you go looking for one.
Okay. Okay. So I vote we let Orion and Luke scout a bit and try to get 2 more uniforms.
Roger.
Yeah, okay.
Luke, Orion, how do you feel about that?
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
All right. Why don't you 2 take infiltration checks? I'm going to give you edge because of your you're wearing the uniform.
Okay.
Nice. Oof. Are you sure you rolled that with edge?
Yes, I rolled a 5 and a 3.
All right. Well, if
I
anyone
just
looks
suck at this.
if anyone looks too closely at Orion, at Luke, that might be a problem. All right. So you step out into the room where you were, and you notice that there are multiple doors. And as you examine them, they do have little window areas. And you can see that other corridors do have people passing by occasionally, and they are a variety of species. There are people who look a bit like birds. There are scaly creatures walking around. You see one thing that walks by that looks like parts of its body are from a lizard and parts of it are from like a human in a weird asymmetrical pattern. It's very strange. At one point, one of you is pretty sure that you just saw an upright walking Pachycephalosaurus just wander by.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty motley assortment. However, the majority of the crew do seem to be various species that are roughly human-shaped and size, such that you could probably use their uniforms. Now remember, the infiltration is just for you to sneak by unnoticed. The fact that you're wearing the uniform means that even if you're noticed, that's not an automatic, like, oh no, there's rangers here. Yeah. Because you are in disguise. So it is... That right now is going to be your ability to actually sneak by without anyone noticing you, even with the uniforms. But yeah, if someone sees you in the uniform, I mean, I don't know. They're not going to immediately know that something's up.
Take them or not?
Steve Areno says, pelagic greetings to you too, and also Dr. Tapioca Weasel has stopped in. I don't mind pelagic things generally. It's just tunicates that I hate that are pelagic.
I don't understand this reference, so I'm just going to say, hi, how are you doing?
And here I drew a dapper one.
Casey, you got to watch my channel more, my man.
Oh, yeah, sure. I've been busy.
It's really great I've spent 8 hours trying to solve one gosh darn bug in my code, and I didn't.
But Dapper
I watched
helped.
a lot of Dapper.
Yep.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah, that'll happen. Sorry about that.
Dapper in my code.
Your code?
Dapper in my code.
Oh.
Yeah, my
Emperor McCode.
By the way, there's some kind of rhythmic scraping noise coming from Claire's microphone.
Hmm.
I'm sorry. I was twisting my hair into a braid. I'll stop at that.
Oh, okay. I was like, what is that? Is it like brushing against the mic? That's weird. I shouldn't be able to hear that.
I think it was I'm using a like a regular headphone mic, and so I think it was as I moved my hand to
Oh.
braid the hair, it was bumping it every
Got
time.
it. Yeah. Okay. No, that makes sense.
Oh, guys, I'm
She's got
so
puppy
I
hair.
just heard the baby cry though, and I think
Uh-oh.
I've got to bail and go.
All right. Well,
settle her
here's what we
down.
can do, right? I do
Okay.
want Gary to be here for most of the rest of this, so we can actually just start wrapping it up with you guys have 2 uniforms on. Orion and Luke will keep those roles right there. Do remember that next time is going to be
Yeah.
episode 24. Feel free to level up to level 12. I'm not going to be like standing on server and like, oh no, you guys have to have downtime. I don't care. You guys can level up like it's World of Warcraft, where you just ding and now you're a higher level.
Joke's on.
Yeah, like I get the realism thing from like, oh, you have to have downtime to level up, but this is Power Rangers, right? This is not like, the most gritty realistic game, nor do I want it to be. So yeah, feel free to level up to 24. We will come back with probably just the Clawship Part 2. Hopefully Gary can be here. We can see, at least the audience can see what he's been up to, because we'll switch back and forth a bit. We'll do some, meantime. I'm probably going to start with Gary, because you guys took, 5 days to get here. So what was he up to for those 5 days? Probably nothing fun. So
Where there's a whip, there's a way.
Oh, it's like The Hobbit. All right, well, in that case,
Yeah.
thank you, everybody. Maddie, oh, she's already gone. Bye, everybody else. I hope to see you all in 2 weeks for the next episode.